Hey guys, my feature match from round 6 of the World Championships just dropped on YouTube. So today I'm going to be doing a very special video where I do a VOD review sharing all of my thoughts and insights about the match in question. So let's get right into it. First of all, it's my Uma Musume deck. So as you might notice, I'm running 2 copies of Mackenenhauser. I felt that this card was essential for beating the Dragon matchup. Dragon needs to do chip damage in order to win the game, and shutting that off really early can mean the difference between victory and defeat. I'm also running 1 copy of Gold City, so if you guys aren't aware of this tech card, it's very good against every matchup except Dragon. So all of the other decks have a lot of trouble dealing with a 1 mana 3/3, especially when they're under threat of Daiwa Vodka coming down the following turn. So I thought this card was really strong. It didn't disappoint me when I drew it over the course of the day, and in fact in this feature match it does actually pop off. So when it comes up, I'll make sure to let you guys know about it. Moving on to my Evolve deck, so I'm running a very standard Evolve deck. I believe I'm running 6 Carrots, 1 Special Week, and 3 Agnes Tachyon. So the reasoning behind this one is basically, I felt like you need 6 Carrots because I'm running so many 3-cost Uma cards which need Carrots, and you want to save 3 for Guri Cap so you can actually lethal your opponent. So I felt 6 is pretty appropriate. I was a little tempted to run 2 copies of Special Week. That does come up quite frequently, to be honest. And 3 copies of Tachyon, that also comes up. So at the end of the day, I decided to just give up on the 2nd copy of Special Week, which was reasonable. I mean, you can play around the fact that you only have 1 Special Week most of the time. So moving along, my opponent's deck. So the main tech card I'm going to point out here is that he's running 2 copies of Marizensky. So this card is quite strong against mid-range decks, including Uma Musume. So if he goes to the late game and he's not behind in any way, this card can really swing the game state and potentially give him an advantage. I don't think overall it's too big a difference. Like, of course, I'm running 2 copies of Mackenenhauser, which is quite weak in this matchup, but I do have the Gold City. So although his deck is probably about 5% favored against mine, it's not that big of a deal. And in terms of his Evolve deck, so he's running a pretty standard Evolve deck as well. The main difference is that he's running 1 copy of Marizensky, obviously, because he's running 2 copies of the base in the main deck. He opted to cut 1 copy of Agnes Tachyon instead of cutting the Carrot, which we usually see from other players. I think he came to a similar conclusion to what I had, which was that if you don't have 6 Carrots, you can actually run out, and then your Guri Cap will no longer be able to close the game. So I'm pretty sure that's his reasoning. Okay, so moving on to the game, he did win the dice roll. He opted to go first. This is pretty common in the Uma mirror. A lot of players prefer to go first because that means that they get the first Daiwa Vodka, they get the first Narita Brian. But going second, it gives you unique opportunities to capitalize on your Evolve points and put them into a situation where they have to use their play points inefficiently. And so at the end of the day, you also, if you save 1 Evo point, you actually get a faster Guri Cap than they do. So there's merits to going first or second, but I also personally prefer to go first, and so does Symphonist. So turn 1, you usually do end up passing if you go first, unless you drew Trial Initiation, which he did not. So he passes over to me. I did draw Trial Initiation, I play it, and I hit the Daiwa. So I've got half of the combo, which is pretty good. And there is one caveat here, so I'm going to pause and not play the next part. So basically, when I play Trial Initiation here, it does actually give him a little bit of safety. So when you're going first, you usually want to tempo out Special Week or Agnes Tachyon, and the advantage that the second player has is that if they have the 1 mana removal card, they can just instantly clear the 2/2, and then they are free to play a 2/2, and it kind of swings the tempo pretty hard. But because I play Trial Initiation, he can very safely play Agnes and not have to worry about that tempo disadvantage. However, he ends up passing turn 2. So this is quite interesting, right? So if you pass turn 2, then it gives me the opportunity to play my own Special Week or potentially Agnes. I don't have either here, so I just end up passing. And this is actually unique in terms of the implication here. So when you go second and you have 2 mana open and they have no board, Uma has no ways of playing any followers above 3 HP. So if he plays any 3/3 here, I get to shoot it for free, and then I get a tempo advantage for the rest of the game. The only way he can avoid that is if he has this 1 copy of Akuno Dictus, and he doesn't have that here. He just ends up tempoing Marizensky, to which I just clear it with my 2 mana spell very quickly. So here it gives me the opportunity to play Narita Top Road or Sakura Chiona. Any of those 2 cards are insane here. If I played here, I have a 4/4 and he has to deal with it or take 4 damage. Or he has to play a 2 mana card and then make some noise, but we already know he doesn't have a 2-mana card because he would have slammed on turn 2. So it's really awkward for him. I believe I end up playing Sakura. I use an Evolve Point. So I think I make the joke here. I think I'm like, oh, use the Ignidius Evo Point. And we both had a bit of a laugh there. But anyway, I put the carrot on it. I get back my make some noise. Super awkward for him because basically he now knows I have a card that does 4 damage. So if he plays anything that doesn't remove my Uma card and he plays a 4-4, I can just clear his 4-4 and then swing 4 to his face. It's really, really backbreaking. There's only 2 outs here, so the first one is a 4-mana execution spell, and the other one is playing the bounce card, which doesn't even feel great because Sakura Shiono is a very strong card, and he doesn't want me to play that more than once, to be honest, but that's an option. So he does end up playing Asian Flash. Asian Flash is, it's good out to this. Usually it's actually quite effective, however, I do have the perfect answer to this. So this is a play that is typically impossible if you don't run Gold City. So Gold City, 1 mana, 3/3, and then I get to play my own Asian Flash here. So usually you can't do this, but because I'm going second and I have Gold City, I can play both of them here, evolve Asian Flash, bounce it back to hand, and now he is no longer able to play Asian Flash without leaving the 3/3 on board in most scenarios. Whereas usually it will be a bit of a deadlock. So if I don't have Gold City there and I go Asian Flash, then he will go Asian Flash, and then I go Asian Flash, but it usually ends in the player who goes first getting the advantage. Because, they want to hit like their PP breakpoints as soon as possible, right? So here I've broken that deadlock right away because we've got Gold City. So here he doesn't really have a great answer, so he ends up going Asian Flash anyway. And if he doesn't have the 1 mana spell here, he can't clear Gold City. So he doesn't have it, he just ends up passing and leaving the 3/3 on board. This feels terrible for him. If I have Daiwa and Vodka here, then basically I buff it. I would use like probably a 1 mana spell to buff it. It'll be a 5 attack follow-up, hit him in the face of 5. Then he has to deal with a 5/4, a 4/4, and a 4/5, which is super hard even if he has to own Daiwa Vodka. So he's on the spot to like potentially lose, and he knows I already hit Daiwa, so he has to be feeling terrible here. However, I do not have Daiwa Vodka. So when I'm playing this, like he's like, damn, please no vodka, please no vodka, please no vodka. And like I search make some noise here, and then I don't have vodka, so I just use make some noise and kill it. So he's probably sighing a breath of relief because the game would be over if I had Daiwa Vodka. So I shoot it, I kill it, and at this point I obviously do not have vodka in hand, so I opt to just attack face. There's no reason to leave it standing at that particular point in time. So he takes 3 damage, first blood of the game. He drops his own Daiwa. I'm hoping he doesn't have Daiwa Vodka. It's like my turn to be like, please no Daiwa Vodka, please no Daiwa Vodka. And then he drops, makes some noise, and he just plays it. And then this is where it gets super copium. Like, he uses this to clear it, and then he feeds the carrot to give a rush. So, like, this is where I realized, like, the game is probably going in a good direction. Like, yeah, it does clear, but, like, you pretty much never want to use carrot on Daiwa, like, except in, like, super niche scenarios. But, I mean, this is one of his scenarios where it's super copium for him. So both not drawn Daiwa Vodka, and it's really hard for both players. Now, I will note that I did have an answer to Daiwa Vodka here because I already had control of the board. Even if he goes Daiwa Vodka, I have Agnes Tachyon, which also clears this. So I go Agnes, I bring back Trial Initiation, and I just pop it. I'm trying to hit my Daiwa Vodka combo. I think I have 2 Daiwa in hand, which is why I dropped it so readily. So I think I look at 2 cards, and I do not actually hit. I don't actually hit Vodka. So I'm not gonna actually show it on the video here, but basically I got a 2 mana spell which gives Storm. So this is essential for my game plan of being aggressive, because I know like I'm no longer able to rely on the Daiwa Vodka combo in general. Okay, so moving forward, yeah, so you can see I searched it here. I think that took a while to decide. And then I played a 3/3 just to tempo him. So I think my options here were to either Storm Face for 4 damage, alternatively I could go Asian Flash here as a 3/3 beta to put tempo pressure on him, or I could play Sakura Shiono O. I did opt to go Asian Flash because I did see a line in my head where I would potentially need to recur the Storm spell in order to push him down to under 10 HP and then kill him with the Guri. And plus, I wanted to be able to recur removal spells as well, just in case he did have a combo or a board that I needed to deal with. So I felt like Asian Flash was probably a little less effective, but it does run into one significant punish from him, which is if he has Rice Shower. So you have to kind of pick your poison in these scenarios, and unfortunately he did have the answer here, so he plays Rice Shower. And this in and of itself is not a problem. It's only really difficult for me if he has exactly Rice Shower plus Make Some Noise. In which case I would just have an empty board, and it's sort of hard to deal with Rice Shower, which is a 3-5. Unless I have a second Tachyon, which I believe I did not. So, yep, he plays Special Week instead, which is also kind of difficult to deal with, but I do have Tachyon on the field, which is good. So, the implication of this scenario, right, when he's tapped out and he does this is, yes, I do have to clear his board, right, and it is sort of awkward for me to deal with, but he's essentially saying, okay, you get to do 3 damage to my face here. Like, that's practically guaranteed with the way he's played it. So he goes down to 14. Now, 10 HP in this matchup is like a break point. Once you're on 10 HP, you die to a Guru cap. So you pretty much like want to stay above 10 HP if you can. So he's running into the danger zone now where like I can potentially tempo him under 10 on this turn alone. I don't believe I do, but he does know I have the Storm spell, which can be used at any time. So this turn, I'm just trying to look for an efficient way of clearing the Rice Shower and the Special Week. Special Week does actually need to be cleared. I can't leave it on the board because if he evolves it, the +1/+1 is pretty significant in the Uma matchup. So especially if he has like a Daiwa Vodka combo and he evolves it, like it's pretty much impossible to deal with. So I think I play my Daiwa. I give up hopes of ever hitting Vodka this game. So instead I try to search. So I think my hand is full of removal here. So I opt to get Raindrops. So this is 4 mana kill spell, but if you have 10 Uma cards in the grave, it becomes 2 mana instead. So this is needed to prevent him from ever using a Guru cap on me. Also, it's insurance. Just in case he does actually have Daiwa Vodka, in which case it's easy for me to clear, and I can recur with Sakura Chiona. So that was my reasoning for taking this. And then I think I just clear it with double kill spell, so I use, Make Some Noise and Raindrop, Lamplit. And double clear, and then swing for 4. I think I do cast the Flowers for You here as well, and hit him down to 13. So he's definitely feeling the pressure at this point. Yep. So everything dies. Gets back Daiwa. So I am aware that at this point, like anytime he draws Vodka, he's going to have a combo. There's not really much I can do about it, given that he did manage to get the Rice Shower down. However, this is a pretty strong board. Like, it doesn't lose too much. Like, you can't agree cap it. Narita Brian, even though he's on 8 mana, it's not like a very efficient clear. Like, he's going to have to use Narita Brian to kill one of the followers, and then I just need to, like, carrot 1 3-drop Uma, and I can clear it. And if I have Daiwa Vodka, that clears it as well, and then also I can just go face. So, like, it does feel pretty bad for him if he goes Narita Brian, which is why he opts for another Daiwa. So here I'm just like, damn, I hope he doesn't have Vodka. But, like, it's about time where, like, he could realistically have hit it. However, this game is super copium because I never draw Daiwa Vodka, and then he doesn't draw it here either. So instead he plays Trial Initiation, hoping one last time to try and hit it. He misses and takes Asian Flash. And so this is where I'm like kind of pretty nervous, but he actually plays like Carrot on the Daiwa. So I'm just gonna play the video here. It's so troll. Okay, so he goes Carrot and he just trades. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, okay, cool. So like I played a lot of mirrors in my time, and like I will tell you, like I've never ever seen someone like Carrot Daiwa 2 times in the same game. Like I've never ever seen it. So like his hand is like garbage, and like to be perfectly honest, like I think my hand is not great either, but like it works out because neither of us have the combo, so that's cool. Okay, so he passes with only 1 mana open, so I can pretty much do whatever I want. Like, it's my turn to set up, which I go for. So, okay, a few points here, right? Number 1, like, I could potentially go Guri Cap here, and then do 10 damage here. However, it does sort of run into some issues here, because I can only attack for 8, so that puts him down to 5, which is the Narita Brian range. I don't have Narita Brian in hand. So, with that in mind, like, I can't set up a 2-turn lethal if I go Guri here. Number 2, if I have a Guri, if I have Narita Brian here, right, I would slam it for sure. I would just do 5 damage to his face, and it's super hard for him to deal with it from this position. Especially if he doesn't have Daiwa Vodka combo, he could go his own Narita Brian, and then like carry it and trade in, which feels really bad for him. There's not many great ways to deal with it, but I don't have that either. So instead I just opt to make the biggest board that I can. I think here I also want to hit him in the face as well. So despite the fact that I can't lethal him right away, and I don't have a guaranteed 2-turn lethal setup, I do want to put him into range at the potential lethal if he's not careful. So what I do here is I play Special Week, try to see what the top card of the deck is. So we both have a bit of a laugh here, because like I'm pretty sure I reveal Narita Bryan off the top, which is like a feel super bad man. Yeah, started a bit of a laugh, and then he's also shaking his head because he's realized like it's like he's realized that like if I had the Narita Bryan in hand already, it would just be like game over. But yeah, it's a bit of a laugh for both of us. We both draw like pretty badly, but so I'm just thinking about the best way to tempo him here, which I end up deciding is playing the Naruto top road. So I don't put the carrot on Naruto top road. I actually evolve Special Week here, so that buffs my Naruto top road to a 4/4, which is a pretty respectable stat line. I remember I have the Storm spell here, so I can either cast it on Naruto top road or Special Week. But I decided to put on Special Week even though it's 1 less damage to face. And the reason I do that is because I want to split the stat line a bit more, so I don't run into his Narita. I don't run into his Narita Bryan, and I don't run into a Guru Cap either. Like both of those options are completely sealed off. So I can just attack him for 4. I think there's no real big difference between hitting him for 4 and 5 as well. So dropping the 9, he's in the Guru range, which feels pretty bad for him. And also, later on, if you look at his hand, you can kind of see it here. He's got Narita Bryan in his hand as well. So like, I made the correct call to make things pretty difficult for him. So I think this turn, let's see up to clear this actually. Asian Flash is a pretty easy clear here, because like you don't really care if you bounce the Narita top road back to my hand. Like it's not easy for me to continue playing that in the late game, because like pretty much all of my turns have to deal with his board and vice versa. So yeah, I think he just goes Asian Flash here, which I know he hasn't had, and then he trades in, and then that gives him an opportunity to set up. Now, he does actually need to stay on 2 mana, because if it's on less than 2 mana, I just kill him with a Guri. So he is deliberately playing around it here. So he plays the 3/3 here to kind of tempo the board and make me have to deal with it. Plus, he's keeping 2 mana open, so I can't kill him with a Guri Cap. So I'm pretty sure I actually do have the Guri Cap here, but I don't play it for obvious reasons. Instead, I'm just thinking about the best way to kind of navigate this turn. He knows I have Narita Bryan. I do have Narita Bryan, obviously, because I showed it. And so I can either go face here and try to set up a lethal. So as you know, I have Sakura Chiyono O in hand. I can just basically bring back the Storm spell and attack for face. But the thing is, if I'm playing around his removal spell here, like all of my Storm-based options are kind of shut out anyway. So there's no point playing towards like a 4 damage lethal option here. So instead of going face here, I just go Narita Bryan and I kill his 3/3. I just try to make it as difficult as possible for him to clear my Narita Bryan. I'm totally cool if he like uses his Narita Bryan to clear my Narita Bryan, or if he uses Daiwa Vodka to clear. So I just do this, I clear it, try to put him on the spot. I do expect that he'll have Daiwa Vodka soon, even though I've given up my chances of hitting it ever. I don't think I drew Vodka all game, by the way. So yep, I just clear it, make it hard for him. So he does end up going for it. He goes Sakura Chiyono O. He brings back, I think he brings back the combo itself, and then he plays Daiwa and Vodka here. And so this gives everything rush and +1/+1, which is an answer to Narita Bryan. It's actually a pretty good answer, to be honest, because what I thought he was going to do here is he was just going to trade everything except the Daiwa Scarlet in, and then he would hold 1 mana open, but Daiwa lets you cast a spell for 1 less cost. So he would basically essentially have 2 mana open, and I wouldn't be able to kill him for a Guru Cap. But here he opts to Vodka, trade with Vodka and Daiwa, because he wants to have as much stat line on the board as possible. And then he trades here as well with both. So I think shortly after he does this, I just ask him, how much mana do you have open? And then he says he has 1 mana open. Yeah, this is what I'm asking. And then I just show him a Guru Cap to game. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? So for people who are watching the stream at this point, so the reason I ended up like discarding 2 cards and then putting 3 carrots on was because the judge was basically like, you have to play it out. So I just did the motions. It wasn't BM, it was just literally like I had to do it. And then afterwards I was just asking Symphonist, like, why did you not trade with the Sakura Chiyono? Because you could have like sealed the Guru Cap play. But I mean, to be honest, like, it wasn't a big deal. Like, sure, it was a misplay, but like I think he would have lost anyway, because my position was pretty strong. Like, he was pretty much out of carrots. He used like 2 carrots. He used 2 carrots on Daiwa, and then like he like used carrots multiple times on his other followers. Like there's no way he can like easily do 20 damage. Like he would have to top like repeatedly in order to come back from that. And also like if he ever has to use his 4 mana removal on like any other follower, then he dies to a Gurika. So I think like it's not actually an easy way for him to come back here. So it's not really a big deal. So that's basically it for the Uma mashup. It's an example of how you can kind of navigate the game even if you don't draw the obviously OP Daiwa Vodka combo. Like Daiwa Vodka ultimately is just the means to a goal, right? Like the whole reason is like it gives you a pretty insurmountable tempo lead, and it's in such a way that like they usually can't full clear the board, in which case they're just going to take 4 or 5 damage, and that is like usually enough poke damage to like start like getting the guaranteed damage in with like, you know, your storm options or like, you know, your random like poke damage from like your 2/2s or 3/3s or whatever, and you go to cap the game. So you can still win even if you don't hit it, but it's pretty tough against some matchups, and it was definitely fortunate that none of us drew the combo. Of course he drew it on like the final turn, but I mean that's way too late, and I just didn't draw it at all. So yeah, it's just one of those matchups. I think it was good for the stream though. I think you know, it was actually a skillful matchup at the end of the day, and I think, you know, it was great for the people to watch and like, where's Daiwa Vodka, blah blah blah. Like, so yeah, that's the conclusion of my VOD review. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope the insight was helpful. I might do a few more of these in the future. Hopefully I make some top tables for some of the BCS level events. If you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and also visit our new website, svemaster.com. It's got deck profiles, tier lists, decks, everything. It's even got like price guides for all the top meta decks. And if you want to help support us, you can purchase cards from TCG Player using our affiliate link. So every time you purchase a product from TCG Player, you can help support the site. That's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time.